Hello everyone, welcome to Python Algo Trading Tutorials. So today we are going to learn how to code to track the complete trade right from the entry order, placing SL order, target orders, and when one of the orders gets hit like SL hits or target hit. So how to close the trade and set it to complete. So these are the things I'm going to cover in today's topic. So with this thing, I think fully automated trade will be complete. Okay, at least in terms of server point of view, considering entry to till exit. So this is the 7th tutorial. I request you to watch all the previous 6 tutorials on Python algo trading so that you can understand better. So what is the content in this video today? So in addition to the trade tracking logic, one thing I added here. So far we are printing all the logs to console, right? So whenever you start Python space main.py, so all the logs are getting printed to console, right? Someone requested to write the logs to log file. I don't remember the command. So I changed that printing logs to log file instead of console, so that it will be easy to check what's went wrong or how the algo is going through different phases, so that you can track all the logs from a file. And implementation for placing SL order and target orders after the entry order is filled. Okay, and the logic for tracking entry order, SL order and target order after placing all orders. So we need to keep tracking the orders every minute. So based on that, we'll take a decision whether to close the trade and set it to complete. Okay, and then keep tracking the trade if SL hits or target hits. Yeah, so it's like tracking the trade. Okay, and while tracking, if SL hits, let's say the SL order completed. When SL hits, the SL order status you will get as completed. Then we will cancel the target order, or if target hits, then we'll cancel the SL order, and then we'll set the trade to completed state. And also add the code to square up the trade if intraday square of time reaches. If neither of SL hits or target hits, then we need to square up the trade at square of time. Okay, so again, this intraday square of time is configurable at strategy level. Each strategy can have its own intraday square of time. Okay, and important one logic added here. So when we place the trades, right, so due to whatever reasons you got some error, right, some exception. So in that case, what we need to do is you just need to restart your Python algo, fix your code, and restart algo. So what will happen? The strategies will run again. So there is a chance of placing the trade again, right? So there will be multiple trades being placed, right? If you keep restarting the server, the same kind of trades will be placed again, right? So because we are not saving all the trade information anywhere so far. So what I added here to persist all the trades. So here what I'm using, I'm storing all the trades to JSON file. Okay, suppose if you restart the Python app, right, so we'll load all the existing trades from the JSON file to the application memory, and then we'll start continuing with the trade tracking and all, right? So okay, yeah, so how do we write to JSON file? So we need to write periodically, update the JSON file, because your trade details and order details keep getting updated, right? So every minute, the way we track the trade in the same manner, in the same loop, after we update the order details and all, we update the persistent storage. That means the JSON file where we are saving all the trades. Okay, so we'll see how the code is organized here. Okay, so I raised a pull request. So this will show the changes from previous code to the latest code. So what are the things in configuration server.json added? So I told you, right, I'm moving the logs from console to file based. So now there is a new parameter, log file directory. You need to give the path of the log file directory. Okay, here I create some temporary folder, Python deploy. There I create a logs folder, and so another thing, we need to save the trades, right, to some files, JSON file. So again, I have configured this trades directory. So in some folder, Python deploy trades. So when you configure these folders, make sure that these two folders exist. You just need to create those folders, correct? And going down, so here the change I did, instead of writing to default console, I am just giving the file path here. So what is the file path here? Is nothing but, so we are reading from server config the log file directory. If it is not exist, we will exiting the app here. And similarly, we are taking the trades directory from the server config. If the directory does not exist, then we'll exit the app. If both exist, then we'll just printing the path of log file directory and trades directory. Then we are init log, when you are calling init logging config, okay? So this is a log file directory / app.log. So inside this directory, we are writing all the logs to app.log file, okay? I'll show you the log file when we run the program. So next, if we go to order PY, right? So there's a little bit of modifications. You can go through them. And in zero the order, I was not returning order here, so there was a bug. I fixed it here. And and one more thing, wherever I'm using the update timestamp values, right? So the creator timestamp, stop, last order update time, so whatever timestamp. So since we are storing all the values to JSON files, instead of storing date time object, here I am storing all the epoch timestamp in seconds. So and throughout the code, so wherever there is a timestamp comes into picture, that is being stored to a JSON file. So I am storing a epoch time instead of date time object. So epoch time is nothing but the number of seconds from 1970 January 1st till date. You can look at the utils get epoch function for more information on it, okay? And okay, I think there's a little bit modification here, and then okay, base strategy. Yes, I added something here. Suppose the strategy, if the when the trade manager calls should place trade or not, each strategy, then there's a common logic I forgot to add. So we check whether the current timestamp is greater than self stop timestamp. That means there are no new trades to be placed from the strategy. So if it's already reached, then what we are doing, we are just returning false. So you should not place the trade. And also at the same time, we are disabling the trade with some reason, no new trades cutoff time reached. Okay. So okay. And then in sample strategy, there's nothing. I told you, right? I am just changing all the date time object to have a epoch value. So there's a little bit modifications here. So only the trade and order object related properties I am changing to epoch. So other than that, if they are being used in only within the program, then there is no change like square out timestamp, stop timestamp. We just here use normal data object here. Okay. And if you come down here, I'm passing once we create the trade and also setting the intraday square out timestamp against each trade, so that the trade manager keep tracking the trade, and when the timestamp reaches, it will square up the trade. Okay. And there's nothing important here, so this normally you can go through them. Yeah, I added some trade encoder Python class here. So this is needed when you saving or loading the JSON data to and from the files. So by default, any class object is not serializable, right? So the Python cannot serialize the data while you save the data to JSON file from this class object. So to serialize, we need to create an encoder. This is nothing but JSON encoder I wrote here. So I am inheriting from the base class JSON encoding. Basically, I'm maintaining all the normal properties like strings, floats, integers, and that's kind of data. There is no complicated data. Also, I changed the datetime object to have integer epoch time. So here we just can return the dictionary object of the data. So what is being passed here? The object in here, the trade object will be passed. So I'll tell you where exactly we are using this trade encoder. So again, one more class I added. So when you exiting the trade, so there can be multiple reasons, right? So when you're setting the trade to complete it, either SL hit or it's target hit. If neither of the SLR target hit, then we are squaring up the trade at when the square of time reaches. Or there are other reasons, like due to whatever reason, the SL order is cancelled, right, from the outside of your algo. Okay, or the target order is cancelled outside of your algo. Whether you manually cancel it or the NSE cancel it. In case of option, when the price goes out of range, the NSE actually cancels your orders. Okay. Similarly, broker can also cancel the order due to whatever reasons. So in that scenario, what I wrote in the algo, right? So I'm just setting the trade to complete. I'm not taking any action in such scenarios. If SL or target order cancel, I'm setting the trade to complete by filling the exit price as a current market price whenever that is detected. So you need to check manually in your broker terminal and take appropriate action manually. Okay, if the position is still open, then you have to close the position manually if that situation arises. Okay, and the main thing is trade manager class. So let me load the differences here. Yeah, so the main logic comes into again. So there are new things added symbol to CMP map, where actually on each new tick we get a latest trade price and code, right? So this we need at some places while calculating the PNL and all. So I am storing the latest price in some map. This will have a symbol to latest trade price mapping, and intraday trade directory. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm using registered symbols. This we need when you restart the application, right? So you need to re-register those symbols again. Okay, and let's see. So what exactly we are doing? So here the new change, we are getting the server config and we are getting the trades directory. The trades directory is nothing but, so this one, right? We configured server addition. Yes, I'm trading this directory, right? So here what I'm doing is, since we are trading only intraday here, so and intraday, so every day we have a new data, right? So for that reason, what I'm doing here, I am creating a new folder with today's date. Okay, here what I'm doing is taking the trades directory as a parent directory, and inside that I am today's date, like is 2021-05-11. So the trade directory, new trade directory inside this trade directory will be created with today's date. So that will be our intraday trade directory. If that does not exist, so what I am doing is programmatically I am creating the directory here. Of course, if you're starting algo for the first time on that day, that directory does not exist. In that case, we are automatically creating the directory. Okay, here you can see the prints. Here we are calling OS make directory. This will create the directory. Okay, so when you come down, so we are just sleeping for 2 seconds and then loading all trades from the file. So if the trades already exist inside intraday trade directory and trades.json file, so we need to load, right? This happens if you are restarting your app during market hours. So there will be trades already. So we'll load from there. Then so, and we'll just keep in the trade manager main thread, we keep checking all the values in a loop. So every time what we are doing is we are here. Let me sleep for 60 seconds. So sleep for 60 seconds and wake up the thread and do the processing. So what exactly the processing here and all? First, what do? You place some trades, right? So the strategy gave you some trades, and on each new tick we asked the strategy by giving a trade whether it should place the trade or not. When the strategy says yes, should place the trade, yes, and the trade manager plays the trade. Now we have an entry order, right? After the entry order, what we need to do? We need to keep tracking the complete trade. So for tracking the trade, what exactly you do? Every 60 seconds, here what I'm doing is fetching, call this one, fetch and update all trade orders. So what are the trade orders? Entry order, SL order, target order, whatever it is applicable. So this function will update all trades order details by fetching the orders from the broker, right? And after updating the order details, what you do? You have the latest order status, order, average price or whatever. Like if it is SL8, you will have complete as the order status, something like that. And then after fetching all the orders and updating the orders, we need to call the track and update all trades. Okay, We'll see how what this function does. And then updating orders done, tracking also done. We set all the internal states. If the trade to be completed, we set the trade to be completed, etc. And then you have to save the updated trades data to the file. So every 60 seconds, what you are doing? So we are doing all three operations. Fetch all the order details from the broker and update all the orders that are filed from the algo with the details fetched from the broker in the next step. This step, then track and update all trades like SL hits, then update the trade to complete, or target hits, update the trade to complete. If square of time reaches, take action, square of the trade, something like that, okay? And after updating all the trades and order details, then save all the information to the file. Keep updating the order information every minute. So if you even shut down the app and you will restart the algo, so it should take from the previous state where it got shut down, right? That's the purpose of saving trades to file. So if you come down here, so this is the logic for loading all the trades from the file. File, okay? So this is a file from where we are reading. If it does not exist, that's okay. We're just returning, no need to load anything. If it exists, then initialize the trade manager.trades to empty array. This is empty list. Then using this code, read from the file. And here I wrote a code. So that is the data read, the data read from the file is in the format of JSON. That is a JSON object basically. So you need to convert that JSON data to the trade object. That means trade clause. So this, you can look at this function, how I am converting. This will convert the trade object. Internally, it will again convert each order to its order object, like entry order, SL order, and target order. We can see that code. And once trade loaded, we're just printing the data. Append the trade to the trade manager trades list. And another thing what you need to do is, so when our new trade is created in the normal flow, so what we are doing is we are registering the symbols to ticker, right? So, but you shut down the Python application and you restart the application, but we lost all those information, right? And the ticker doesn't know what symbols need to be registered and what symbols you need to get the ticks, right? Updated data what. So in this case, what you need to do, you have to restore all those symbols and register with the ticker. So from each trade, so if it is not there in register symbol, what I'm doing is just add to this list and also call the ticker and register that particular symbol. So basically we are registering all the symbols on restart. In normal scenario, this won't come into picture. Only when the app restart, we'll load all the existing trades from the JSON file to app in memory. Okay. When you come down, similarly, so every 60 seconds, we are actually updating after updating the trades order details, we are saving all the trades to file. So it's similar, same introduce directory and state.json file. Here we open the file in writing mode and dump the data to the trades file. So here I told you, right, I wrote some trade encoder, JSON encoder. So this is here we do pass CLS equal trade encoder. If you don't pass this, you will get serialized exception, because by default any clause you write in Python is not serializable, and hence it cannot be written to the JSON format, right? So that's why we need pass this encoder, okay? And if you come down, yeah, here I'm storing each latest tick inside a symbol to current market price map. This we will use whenever we require, I'll tell you. And if you come down, yes, so each minute what we are doing is track and update all trades, right? So what we are going to do is we are traversing through each trade inside trade manager.trades list, and we are checking if the trade state is active or not. So we are interested in only tracking the trades which are active, okay? So not completed or not created or not in other state. So what you do, first while tracking the trade, if intraday square of timestamp is not none, we'll check if that particular trade has some intraday square of timestamp. We'll get the current epoch time. We'll check if the current epoch is greater than intraday square of time. That means intraday square of time reached or it's greater than. So in that case, we are going to call square of trade. What is the reason? Pause the trade, and the reason you pause is nothing but trade square of reason. Okay. And other thing, in a loop, for each trade, for each active trade, what we are doing? Track entry order, track SL order, track target order. Correct? So what is track entry order here? So if it is not, first of all, the trade should be active. If it is not active, it is already done. So we don't have to take any action. The trade state not active, just return, do nothing. If entry order is nothing, then do nothing. If the trade order state is cancelled, okay, when you place the order, the entry order, okay, so you got the entry order status as cancelled or it is rejected. Due to whatever reason, the broker rejected your order. It may be due to insufficient funds or due to the symbol is not allowed on that particular day, the script is blocked. So whatever the reasons, what we are doing, we are just setting the trade state to cancel. That's it. Okay. If we're setting the trade to cancel. That's it. If there is a field quantity, we're just updating trade field quantity greater than 0. We're taking from entry order and assigning the field quantity here, as well as we are assigning the field price. This is nothing but trade entry order. Average price is nothing but at which price the order is filled. So this is nothing but our trade entry. Now we updated our trade entry after placing the order, after getting the updated state from the broker. Okay. So then trade CMP. So here each time when you track the order, right, what we are doing is the current market price we are taking from a symbol to CMP map and storing it. So this will be used here. What we are exactly doing is each time we are calculating the trade PNL. Okay, whether it's unrealized PNL or realized PNL, whatever. So in this case, unrealized PNL because the trade is not yet closed. So this will be the unrealized PNL. Okay. And what is the track SL order? So if the trade not active, don't do anything. If trade stop loss is 0, let's say maybe for some reason stop loss is not applicable for some trade. So in that case, we are not going to place SL order. And if the SL order is none, that means we have not yet placed the SL order. Correct? Initially, when the entry order is placed, of course, this order SL order will be none. Now, as we are going to place SL order. So when it's called again next time after each minute, so when you track SL order, it's already placed, right? So we don't come here. So if it's already placed, then we'll come in this else loop. Else condition. So what you are going to do here? So we check the SL order status. What is? If it is complete, that means SL hit. Correct? So what is the SL hit price? Trade SL order average price. This is nothing but at this price your SL order is filled. That is your exit price. Now after you get exit, SL is hit. What we need to do? We have to set the trade to completed state. I wrote a utility function here. Set trade to complete. Pause the trade, exit price from here. And what is the reason? Trade exit reason, SL hit. That's it. So and when SL hits, what should you do? If there is a target order exists, what you have to do? You have to cancel the target order, right? And vice versa. In case of target, you have to cancel the SL order. If the SL order is not complete, okay. Other reason is your SL order is still in trigger pending state. You are not going to do any action there. But there can be other reason, due to whatever reason by broker or NSE, the SL order got cancelled, or even you had cancelled manually. So whatever reason. So in this case, what we are going to do is SL order cancel outside of algo manually or by broker or by exchange. So I'm printing SL order, this one for trade ID, this one cancelled outside of algo, setting the trade as completed with exit price as market current price. Okay. So whatever the current price we are taking here, we are considering that as exit price because we don't know why the SL order cancel and what is the actual exit price. We don't know, right? You don't have any clue because you don't know at what order it placed. So what is the action taken outside of algo? So in this case, we are assuming that SL order is cancelled and manually the user need to intervene and take appropriate action. In that case, we are just setting the trade to complete with the reason SL cancel. That is SL cancel outside of algo. Okay. And at the same time, if there exists any target order, just cancel the target order. That's it. And if you come down, so how do we track the target order? Just similar to SL order. If the target is 0, that means it may be like a target order not applicable for this trade, right? So then, just a minute. Okay. So, okay. If the target order is none, that means we have not yet placed the target order, then call the place target order method. Else, if the target is already placed, then we'll check if this is complete, then take the exit price from the target order average price, set the trade to completed, at the same time cancel the SL order since targeted is it. If it is open short, we are not going to do anything. Otherwise, if the target order is cancelled outside of your algo, so take action, like just set the trade to completed with a reason, target cancel, and exit price as the current market price. At the same time, cancel the SL order if it exists. So if you come down, so how do we place the SL order? Similarly, we place the entry order, we create object of order input params. So decide the direction. If your original trade is a long direction, let's say, so your SL order will be in opposite direction, that is short. Else, if your original trade is short direction, your SL will be in long direction. That's it. We're just taking the opposite. Product type same. Order type, our SL order, always SL market. Trigger price, what is the stop loss, right? And quantity you pass. Here we are calling the trade manager, get order manager, whether it's Zerodha, Fires or whatever the broker. Since we wrapped everything inside other components, so it will directly get the appropriate order manager here, corresponding to the broker you configured, and we are just calling the place order by passing order input parameters, which we filled here. Okay. If the order is filled, then this will be the SL order object will be assigned to trade.SL order. Here we print successfully placed SL order and return true. So how do we place target orders? Same. If your original order is short, your target will be long. If your original order is long, your target order will be short. Product, order type. So there are two things here. If you want to place target order at market, there is a parameter here, is market at false. If it is market at false, we are going to place at limit. Okay. If it is passed as market, we are just going to place the order as market. So when this is market order will be true, I'll tell you during the square of time. Okay. If there is no target order exists for that particular strategy is not applicable, how do you square up this trade? So you will call from the square of trade method, place target order with is market order true, so that immediately your position will be exited at market order. So once order is placed, we are assigning the target order details to trade.target order here. That's it. And how do you utilities method? How do you cancel entry order? Just get the entry order if it is already cancelled. Don't take any action. Otherwise, just call cancel order here of the entry order. Similarly, cancel SL order. Call cancel SL order here. And similarly for target order, cancel target order. Here what we are doing is set trade to completed. What exactly we are doing? We are taking the input parameters, trade, the exit price, exit reason. Trade state, we are doing completed trade. Exit price, what is exit reason? If exit reason is passed, use that. Otherwise, if the trade.exit reason is already there, just use the existing one. Trade end timestamp, get epoch. This is the end timestamp where we are actually setting the trade to completed, and calculate the final PNL, trade PNL, and print all the details like what is the symbol, strategy, entry, exit, PNL, exit reason. Okay, so we come down. Then square of trade. Whenever this is being called whenever the square of time reaches, right, inside while tracking the trade in after 60 seconds. So whenever this is being called, the default is in a square of. Okay, and if this can the reason can be other thing also. So based on that particular reason, we'll set the trade exit reason here. And if it's not active, okay, so we are not going to. If it's open, so what are you going to do whenever the square of trade is being called? If trade entry order is not known, so there are some cases you place an order, but the order still open even during the square of time. The order is still open, that is not yet filled. So in that case, there is no SL order placed, there is no target order placed, right? So what do you do? So if trade entry order state is still open, correct? So we'll just cancel the entry order itself, right? And if SL order is not done, entry order, okay, SL order is not done. So how do we square up the trade? So in this framework, we do like this. If there is an SL order, just cancel the SL order, okay? And if there is a target order, if a target order is existing, then what do you do? What I do here, modify order to market. That's it. Just call this function by passing the target order object. This function will modify the order to market so that the position will be exited immediately. Or if there is no target order, the case where your strategy, there is no target order is applicable for your strategy. In that case, the target order is actually none. even during square of time. So in that case, what you are doing, if the target order is none, we are actually creating a new target order by passing is market order true. Here you are passing true, that means you are placing a new target order yet with market order. There your position will be executed immediately. Sorry. So, and if you come to the when you load the all trade details from the trade JSON and you have to convert to trade object, right? Here we are actually creating a trade object and converting all the data from JSON to a trade object here. So, and whenever you reach bottom here, so convert to JSON order. So the order this is again each different object, right? And target. And when that is being called, if it is none, we are not going to do anything. We are just returning none. Otherwise, we take each parameters from JSON data and assigning to order object and passing the order object here, so that will be assigned here, either one of the orders here. Okay. And utils, what I did, okay, yeah, I added a calculate trade P&L function. How do we calculate? You can go through this, as there is no complicated logic, is simple. So, and calculating the trade P&L and the P&L percentage here. So that's it. This is the code I wrote, and okay, I can see you all the class also. This is trade manager. It's completed. So now what you want to do is we already written the sample strategy here, right? So with some sample logic which I explained in the previous tutorial. You can go through them. Okay, there are some default symbols, and we have some logic here inside generate trade. Okay, now I will show you a live demo. How do we run this code? How the algo places actual order, then after actual order field, then SL order, and then target order, and the algo keep tracking the trades. Okay, let me switch to here. So I'm starting the program main.py. So when you start the program, so there are no prints, right? I told you, right? I moved all the logs to file. So these are the only prints you will get here. So all other prints you will see here. See. So this is which file it is. This file is nothing but if we go to temp and I created some Python deploy here. So logs. So inside this, there's a ARP log file is being created by the program. That is nothing but this file. So we'll get all the logs here. So after that, I need to open application here. This is our app. So before that, I logged out. Okay. Log into broker. Let us log into broker. Log in. So now log into broker. I keep it open, refresh it, since I'm using the same session here as well. So there are no orders, right? Just clean, no positions, no orders. Okay. And when I click start algo button, the sample strategy will start running, and it will create the trades, and it will pass the trades to trade manager, and trade manager will go through each trade and ask the particular strategy whether should place the trade or not. If the strategy says yes, then the trade manager will place the trade. After placing the trade, it will keep tracking the trades every minute, and it will place corresponding SL and target orders as per applicable logic. Okay. Let me start algo here. So far we'll just see the logs, what happened. See the token we got and all. Okay. So the algo is not yet started here. I'm clicking on start algo button. Click, algo is running. If you reload this one, see trade may add new trade called here, something 0 ticker, register symbol, execute trade call. See, execute trade successful for Tata Steel here, execute trade call for Tata Steel successful, and execute trade successful for Infi, execute trade. So we are limiting maximum 3 trades per day here. So after 3 trades, what will happen? See, going to disable with the reason max trades is Tata Steel actually disabled because they're already Cipla, SBI, Infi already placed. So the 4th trade is going to be disabled, and we are not going to take any action on it. So because we said max trades per day for that particular strategy only 3. So if you see the broker terminal, see all 3 trades placed, right? SBN by Infi short and Tata Steel. Okay, so Tata Steel is placed by some other trade got disabled. So 3 done, right? So after some time, what will happen? So I told you, right? In every minute, see here what we did, the main thread woke up here, trade manager, and we fetched all the details, order details from the broker, updated the orders, okay, within the algo. Complete. So 3 orders updated with the broker details, correct? So now after this, see, going to place order with SBI, going to order placed successfully. So what are these things? If you look at, so there is another order placed, right? So this is SL market order. This is limit this is target order, SL market order. So I think so. Algo also placed. There is some. Okay, guys. Actually, I fixed the issue. There was some direction was wrong. When it is long, we have to use SL as short and also target as short, and vice versa. There is some small mistake in the code. Of course, silly mistake, but because of that, all that errors and the price errors while placing the SL order we encountered. Okay. So I fixed that, and let me show. This is the starting the program. Okay, and currently there are no positions. I cleared all. There are no orders as well, and start the program. And if you look at the logs here, let me cleared. Okay, so now let me do login to broker, then start algo. Okay, I started algo. See, the orders placed. So 3 orders placed. If you look, 13:01, 43, 44 seconds. Okay. So SBN 5, Tata Steel 1 with long order, and Infi short. Okay. So after 30 seconds, earlier it was 60 seconds. Actually, I changed to 30 seconds so that it will be faster to show you demo. So after 30 seconds, see what happened, right? So executed, sorry, placed successfully. So this is the refresh the log, going to place order with SBN. See, this is a trigger price, this is SL order, and the bottom is the target order, something like that. Okay. See, for all the 3 trades, we have SBN, stop loss order, and target order. Similarly for Infi, stop loss order, target order. Tata Steel, stop loss, target order. Okay. So this is how it, if you go to positions, 2 long and 1 short. See, that's how this works. It's a fully automated trading platform. It will keep tracking the trades. Okay. And what I want to show is after each 30 seconds, it will update all the trade details, and it will update the JSON file as well. So even if you restart the program, so all trades are intact. So this is the file the trades are being saved. We saw the live demo how to place the orders through algo, tracking sell target orders right from the trade entry to till the trade completes. Of course, we have not yet seen how the algo squares up the trade when the square of time reaches. I will show that in a separate demo. I think okay, that's it for today, and the next session I am planning to create some sample strategy based on option selling, weekly option selling, so where most people are interested in it. So in this case, we need to calculate the option symbol dynamically, right? So we need to find what is the current expiry day, and accordingly find the current expiry symbol, whether it's weekly or monthly. So we'll try to create a strategy on weekly option selling strategy. Okay, I think that will be more interesting for many. So far, I don't know how many are actually interested in, how many are actually following this tutorial. I don't know, but let's see. Something useful may come in the further sessions. But anyhow, even to understand complete project, right, one has to go through all the tutorials. Okay. Thanks. Bye. Have a good day.